Hi everyone and greetings for the day. This is Meraj Kidwai and you're watching the Take the Solution of Every Need. I hope you all are doing wonderfully well and taking great care of yourselves. I'm going to talk about thinking skills in this video. Recently I was reading a beautiful book by Jim Quick and he written a book Limitless, so I do recommend you to read that book as well. It coaches individual's mind about building growth mindset, how you can build limitless mindset as well. I'm going to elaborate from the reference of the book on the similar topic about thinking skill. So he quoted that thinking is the most difficult thing to do, and people rarely think or get engaged into it. Why is that so? Thinking is a brain exercise, of course, as I define it. It requires deeper analysis, evaluation, introspection, developing critical thinking to analyze information, understanding biases about various topics or about what you're trying to analyze onto, whether it's philosophy, whether it's science, whether it's society, whether it's justice system, whether it's law, whether it's reinvention in education as a whole. Thinking develops personality of individual. So we may find people with education around, but they really, you know, involve or deeply, I would say, practice this skill of thinking not that much. Thinking enables individuals. Now, how do we think? That's the main idea here. That what is the process of thinking, how we can start thinking, how we can develop thinking skill. It is important to be analytical in approach, use your logic, and be reasoned. So, the more reasoned you become, the more logical you become, you will solve problems. Eventually, thinking develops creativity, develops imagination as well. To solve problems in the world around us, we do require some sort of imagination where we can, understand the problem we are facing right now and we try to design solutions around that problem. So you are able to design solutions when you think of the problem, and thinking do require some sort of imagination. Imagination brings creativity, imagination brings hope for solving problems, and also develops critical thinking to an extent. Critical thinking is essential for problem solving ability in individual. Therefore, it is highly encouraged to develop the exercise of thinking skill, thinking ability. This is eventually important to understand perceptions, to understand opinions, to understand and analyze facts and data around you, those perceptions and opinions, reaching to a conclusion or decision that is relevant to the data driven insight that you may have about it, eventually developing your thinking process and reaching to a point where you may able to find a solution, or you may able to create something through the idea that comes in your mind when you delve into thinking. So thinking skill is a process and it requires deep analysis. It's an exercise for your brain, and eventually, you will improve overall. Most of the times we do say that we must speak before the process of not before the process of thinking. That means think before you speak. That's why it's important that whenever you utter something, an idea, whenever you try to convey your emotion or expression, it's highly important to develop the process of thinking. Think about the problem, and if you cannot, then you need to delay that process. Okay, the more you delay the process, you get some time to deeply analyze it, to find interventions about it or around it, and then reaching to a conclusion that whether this problem can be sorted through path A or not. Therefore, thinking ability is important to develop with critical thinking. The major reason in today's time is that people act without thinking. They must think, evaluate consequences, evaluate whether the action can bring outcomes, feasible and positive outcomes or not. And then they should act around whatever they would like to act around too. So develop thinking skill, and it will also enhance the overall personality of an individual. So conversation is important, talking and expression is important, communication is important, but not without thinking ability or thinking skill. Thank you and have a great day.